'80s, and I don't want to make this political, but Reagan wouldn't even mention the word AIDS. George Bush Sr. really didn't do anything with it, and it wasn't only until Clinton got office that he started to recognize the gay community. And this was a very brave role. It
was a brave role, and it was a very intelligent move for Bill Clinton to make, realizing that there are a lot of gay people out there.
Well, he couldn't ignore it anymore.
The political genius of Clinton, but also it couldn't be ignored anymore.
10% of the American public, maybe more. So, yeah, absolutely. Are they going to vote Republican? I don't think so. But a very brave film for Tom Hanks to take on. If you get a chance, Google or YouTube his acceptance speech winning the Best Actor award. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my number two. And
that was
what's yours?
So for number two was Apollo 13.
Your number
was
one?
Philadelphia, hands down, bar none.
All right, so we just talked it, and my number one was Forrest Gump.
And that's funny. It didn't even make my top five because I know he's great in it, but I thought that movie was so special effects driven and a wonderful script too. But
it was very special effects driven, but it was things that we had never seen before, which allowed it to stay on my list. In other words, seeing Tom Hanks next to, or getting the president, whatever it is, the Presidential Award of Honor or whatever or he's standing next to Kennedy at one point, and several different points. I mean, I remember being in the movie theater.
How'd they do that, right?
That? It wasn't like, Star Trek or Star Wars special effects. It was special effects.
And it's a delightful film. It's a delightful film that you can take your grandma to, your mom to, and feel comfortable doing so. And really, once again, when his mother dies, not a dry in the house. When Robin Wright, his girlfriend, died, or actually the mother of his child in the film, played by a very young Haley Joel Osment, who went on to do Sixth Sense. Oh, we could talk about Bruce Willis movies at some point in time. That'd be right up there. But Forrest Gump is a terrific film, and it's totally understandable why you would have it at number one, even though it's not in my top five. I had a little mix of young and old.
Is it in your honorable
Yes, it's in my honorable mentions, but not in my top.
I'm surprised Bosom Buddies wasn't in your
well,
your number.
That's my all-time favorite TV show, Nick.
Of course it is. What's the theme song to that? How long was it? Will you play the whole theme song when we have on
Donna Dixon?
Dauber.
He's not on
Donna
that show.
Debbie does. Oh no, he's not on that show, but Scolari is, and at least he's Italian.
Yeah, there you go. And he actually had quite a career himself. So let's not. He was I remember he was in a Bobby McFerrin video.
And I believe he and Hanks are still
very close. And Tom puts him in movies. He played Scolari played like an Ed Sullivan type character in one of my favorite Hanks films that I wish got more play. And I think you know this already. I love That Thing You Do.
Great.
In fact, some of our music.
And some of our music is from that movie.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. And some of the jazz music you hear is from that movie. What a great.
And also, people, it's not mentioned enough that, and I don't even know if it's ever recognized, but it's certainly after Brian Epstein and the Beatles. I mean, Hanks even looks like Epstein in that movie. He does.
And he ate it up, I read. He loved playing that role. And that's his film. That's his production.
Yeah. So was League of Their Own, wasn't it?
Was that... I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't know.
I think he directed that.
And that's not even on my list. And he's terrific in that, too.
Either, no. Yeah, I didn't. I don't believe I ever saw it.
Really?
Who's in that? Madonna?
Gina Davis.
Gina Davis or something. And then there's Rosie, who would be enough reason not to watch.
She's very good in it, though.
But she is just so... I can't. You want to talk about The View. I mean, it was kind of great the way she'd go at Barbara, because Barbara Walters is so annoying. And it was even better how Stern... Howard Stern...
Now, that would be a story.
Best commissioner of all sports.
Oh.
But how, and we could talk about that if you'd like, how Howard Stern attacked, I mean, that was just great, the Rosie attacks. And Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump, he and Rosie, I swear to God, they planned all that. Possibly. I mean, I could see the Donald planning, yeah, totally. Yeah, Mr. Publicity Whore. She is so annoying. I can understand that, but she does her own thing. I admire that. She does her own thing. I don't find Whoopi annoying. Not And she does her own thing.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it's her voice.
What did Ted Danson do he when he was dating Whoopi? He
in blackface.
Black
yeah, like, I think it was at the Friars.
That ruined his career.
It was like at the Friars Club. That was very controversial at the time.
That ruined his career pretty much. And he's not really done much since.
He did like 3 Men and a Baby. What else did he do?
They were good, but that was during the height.
Yeah, so he parlayed his stardom in Cheers.
Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, Officer, what's his name from Police Academy?
Now
Steve Guttenberg. I would like to talk.
There
to
you
Steve
go.
Guttenberg.
Because he's had quite a career. I mean, what were there, like 8 Police Academy movies? That's a resume all to its own.
He was just a funny guy. He is a funny guy. I wonder what he's doing.
I'll find out.
There's a
I'm on
for
it.
You. Ask Pam Dauber.
I'm on it. We'll have 2 guests in one show, Pam Dauber and Steve.
I just got texted from a coworker telling me Mork and Mindy. Everybody knows Pam Dauber. I got to stop making fun of her.
She was popular. She was like the girl next door. She was the girl next door. So okay, we're done with our list. Tom Hanks list, and do you
honorable mention? My honorable mention. I put Big on there,
and
no doubt. I put Saving Private Ryan, even though I didn't really care.
And I've got a couple for you. I want you to check out in my honorable mentions. We all know Sleepless in Seattle, so that's not on there.
Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah,
Road to Perdition, where he plays the gangster.
You've Got Mail. That's Sleepless in Seattle.
You've got Mail.
Or is that a different movie?
I know it's like the same movie. I hate it. You've Got Mail. Just between you and I. Hated it. It's the same damn movie with Megan. What was her? I can't even think of her name because she doesn't do anything. Meg Ryan. She doesn't do anything anymore.
She was just stunning.
Yeah, she was a cutie.
Oh, she was like the original Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, she was just a cutie.
Talk about Walk the Line. What a great.
And she sang her own stuff.
And so did
Joaquin Phoenix.
Phoenix. I mean, and I beg to say that, nobody can compare with June Carter with that voice, that gorgeous voice, and the way it blended with Johnny Cash. But, and I hate country, by the way, but I love Johnny Cash. But Reese Witherspoon sounded just like June Carter, and that's not an easy person to imitate. No,
and even June Carter wishes she looked like Reese Witherspoon in the movie, but
I know, man. I mean, that's she could have hired a house. June.
Ouch! But it's so true. Yeah, well, Reese did it.
Johnny could have done better.
Was stunning in that film, both vocally and looking. She was beautiful, and
even the way she behaved was just so cute, and you just wanted to,
She's always cute. She's just in whatever she does.
But she is always cute.
Here's the thing about Reese.
And she was great in. She was great in the one with Ryan Phillippe. What was it? Oh, come on! Great movie, weird movie, eccentric movie with Ryan Phillippe.
I know. I'm thinking it's hard. When you're on the air, it's hard to think. Obviously, I display that all the time. It's hard to think.
What was
I
the
can't
name
think
of that
of
movie?
it. I'm drawing a blank. We'll bring it up. We'll have a top 5 Reese Witherspoon movies in a podcast soon.
Hasn't she done something controversial lately? I think she did. She did do so. I don't remember what, but she did something.
So much so we can't remember it. It was so controversial.
Yeah, that was really controversial.
I've got 2 Tom Hanks honorable mentions that I think that you might be interested in. One is called Nothing in Common. He plays an advertising executive. It's a comedy, but it's a comedy about a relationship between a man and his father, played by Jackie Gleason.
Oh, I did see that, and it is. I did see it. It's a great movie.
Oh,
great,
and nobody talks about
it. It was one of Gleason's last.
Nobody talks about it. And actually, Tom Hanks mentioned it in that sit-down he did with Chris Hardwick. He mentioned it.
Cruel Intentions.
There you go. With Selma Blair. Yeah, that was a while ago. That was a very young Reese Witherspoon, too.
Yes. And now I'm seeing in with the filmography Straight A's, and I see that on Netflix a lot.
I didn't see that
yet. Phillippe's a great actor.
He is. He's done some very good work. I think when did they divorce? Do you remember?
Recently, yeah. I mean, within the last couple of years. But great movie that he was in that a lot of people didn't like that I enjoyed was Studio 54.
Fun film. Steve Rebell.
Great music. And Mike Myers plays Steve
to
Rebell.
A T.
Oh, to a T isn't, and talk about an interesting fucked up guy. As far as Rubel goes.
Yeah, I mean, he goes on the air, right, and he basically taunts the IRS. Tells them he's cheating. Just goes on.
Do you remember
of course
that?
I do. And I kind of lived.
I mean, do you remember?
I lived through the era. I was a young teenager in the late '70s, so I remember.
Were you at 54 in the basement with?
Doing coke and sure. 13 years old.
You brought.
I don't think they would have let me in the club back then with my pimples and my feathered hair. But fun movie. I don't know how accurate it was, but it sure was a fun movie.
And the soundtrack was.
Yeah, Michelle loves that. My significant other loves that soundtrack. And Salma Hayek's in that movie. Breckin Meyer's in that movie. Neve Campbell is in that film. And she was a real big star back then. Remember, she did Party of Five with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Scott Wolf. Wonderful program.
Great show. That was a great show. And that was back in the 90210 era of
Melrose Place.
And for as many people who liked Melrose Place, I could never really get into it.
Well, you know why I watched Melrose Place.
Oh, why? I just tell us.
Josie Bissett, Alyssa Milano.
That might be.
Really, it was obvious.
I think we all watched it for that reason and that reason only, because I didn't think there was.
All those great-looking guys on that show too. Grant Show was on that. Andrew Shue was on that show, who was the brother of Elizabeth Shue from Karate Kid fame. So, very, very interesting.
But 90210 was just great.
Yeah, Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Well, she was also, don't forget, Saved by the Bell.
Yes, she made that transition, yeah. I was sitting here thinking, I was talking to Michelle, we were watching The X Factor. I don't know if you watch any of the singing shows, but we were watching The X Factor, and Mario Lopez from...
Yep.
He's huge now. He's the host of The X Factor, and we were asking ourselves, okay, what guest could we get on Beats and Eats from Saved by the Bell?
Ryan Paul.
Mark Paul Gosselaar. So we had, who else was on there? Elizabeth Berkley did show.
Feel free. We sound like two idiots in our mother's basement.
I know, well, that's the beauty of it.
I know, but come on. All right, go ahead now. Go ahead.
Okay, so what do we got? We had Paul Michael Gosselaar, who's huge. He has his own show on TBS. You've got Elizabeth Berkley, who did Showgirls and nearly wrecked her career, but I think she does a lot of episodic television. Lars Voorhees, Miss Showgirls. Remember Showgirls?
Showgirls was the worst. I mean, I watched it 20 times, but it was the all-time worst movie.
And get this, it's made a fortune on rent.
Of course it has.
It's so damn funny, unintentionally so. It's the Ramsey Swice of sexiness.
Ramsey. Have you ever seen what the hell is it called? Pootie Tang? That's a really bad movie.
I'm familiar with it. I haven't seen it.
That's a really bad wait. Put your con on the running line. I'm saying it wrong, but it's all
kind of like Booty Call. I love that movie. It's hilarious with Jamie Foxx. Anyway. I
was saying
90210. And I was listening to 90210. I was listening to the stars of Saved by the Bell, and so I was thinking the only person that probably isn't doing anything is Dustin Diamond, and I don't even want him on the damn show.
Matter of fact, I think, and I have to go back and look, and this is how much I don't really care for him, but not don't care for him, but he's not, I'm not going out looking for his work if he has any, but he was on the Celtics late night show, I'm pretty sure.
Who?
He's a big sports fan.
Who was that? Who are you talking?
Dustin Diamond, Screech. I'm pretty sure he was on the Celtics late night show.
How pathetic is it when he's like releasing his own sex tape for publicity?
I thought you were going to say, how pathetic is he when he wants to go on the Celtics late night show?
No, everybody wanted to go on the Celtics late night show back then. Or even now, everybody wants to go on the Celtics late night show. If you do a show.
Do it anymore. We retired. Although Brandon and I were talking about it.
It would be like bringing Star Wars back, if you guys get back.
Oh, come on. We did have great
You did.
Tim Donaghy was an amazing guest.
He would be, especially at that time. Tim's